So let's make this a thing. Whenever I do a tag, I'm gonna have my hair loose. Hello there, humans. I am Dulce Silbruno. I am a sci-fi writer, also a little bit of a poet, and a short story maniac. And my short story, Leidarleos, or Guiding Light, is now available for purchase in the Summer Heat Imperfectly Yours Disability and Romance Anthology. It's on Amazon. The link is going to be below. So consider subscribing if you like my stuff. Like and share and comment on the video if you feel like sharing something with me. Today I'm going to do the what I struggle with as a writer tag. Also going to link the video from the original tag in the description below. Before the video gets too long, then let's go ahead with the boiled down list of things that I struggle with, because hey, I'm a visually impaired writer, so I'm almost blind. Of course I have struggles. But before this video becomes a very lengthy one, like I always end up doing, here's the list of a top 10, so to say, things that I struggle with as a writer. Number 1 is, of course, all the visual stuff. Visual, like formatting, editing, punctuation, sometimes spelling, because I have friends from all over the world, and that means American spelling, UK spelling, Canadian punctuation style, every kind of punctuation you can imagine. Yeah, it's a struggle. I don't know what to do about it. And I am aware that there are different forms of spelling, but I tend to forget that this belongs to this and this belongs to that, and I'm already confused. So I mix them up, and my book is always a Frankenstein of all these kind of things, because as you know, I'm from another planet. So I landed here on Earth and I want to get to know humans from all over. But of course the consequence is I get confused, you know, happens. And the other visual aspect that I struggle with is, of course, the visual descriptions. And you might say, but Dal, you write blind characters, don't you? Yes, I do, but I also have to write some sighted characters. Like in my dual POV sci-fi trilogy that I'm working on, it's still in the making. It's called Strange Families, and book 1 is called Black Widow and Death Moth. I have it ready for beta reading stages. I'm actually querying it. If it gets rejected, I'm going to go to another round of beta reading, and yeah. But there, the protagonist is fully sighted, and sometimes I don't describe enough. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But I'm aware that I need to work on this, so I am always having it in my mind, like visual descriptions and smell descriptions. I have no sense of smell, so that's another problem. If I want to bring up a smell, I research peaches and apricot scents for like, what, 3 days? Yeah. Things that aliens do when they don't understand all the nuances of human culture. Okay. Number 2, time management. Yeah, what the is time management? I am not aware of my time. I lose sense of time like this. I start writing a scene, and when I look up, it's midnight. Or I start writing at night, and then I look up and it's sunrise, or like the sun is up, like, hi, well, how are you doing? And I'm like, wow, where did the time go? So yeah, this also means if I have other things to do outside, because I'm a pet sitter, I never, ever, rule of gold, never write before your client appointments. Don't write before walking your dogs. Don't write before visiting the pets. If you have pet sitting, just write while you're with the pets. It works. But yeah, I am afraid that I'm gonna be late for that. So what I do is I write after my appointments, whatever it is that I have to do outside, not just pet sitting, but like when university starts, I'm going to die. I know it, I feel it. It's like, oh, this is gonna be a nightmare. So yeah. I have a total lack of time management because I just get lost in my work and I don't know how to cope, because timers don't work with me. It feels like I am too slow, and it feels like it was too short of a session because I still haven't finished that scene. I get easily distracted because I research so many things. So yeah, my time goes out the window. I don't know where it goes, it just goes. Number 3, I edit as I go. And here it is, another problem of time management. I am not a zero draft kind of writer. Precisely, this ties again with number 1, with visual aspects of writing. I am trying to compensate. If my draft is going to be a visual mess and also a story mess, that's awful. That's really awful. That's like not worthy of a writer. And to me, I'm not gonna criticize anybody else. You guys, you do you. But I try to compensate and I try to make a story as clean as I can, and then fixing punctuation, formatting and editing and spelling and all that stuff. And all the errors that I might have as a non-English native speaker. Like, I have some other languages struggling in my head, fluent or basic. So it just can make me make so many more mistakes. And I have to be very careful. I cannot fix it all later. Because guys, we're talking about books. A whole book of fixing it later is not good for a blind person. So I can edit a scene, I can edit a chapter, and then I feel that I am good to go, and then I can move on to the next thing. I already tried this write a hot mess and fix it later for a few chapters, and it's not working because the guilt that hits me, because it's a mess. And I forgot to add, I forgot to rewrite, I forgot to edit this scene is not working, fix it all, and then I have to go back. It's actually more like a 1 step forward and 2 steps back kind of thing. And with my anxiety, that's not very healthy, so I prefer to stick with editing as I go. I know a lot of productivity culture writers say, fix it later, but I have to understand and I accept that I am different. So I edit as I go. Number 4 is imposter syndrome. Damn, if there is someone with a big imposter syndrome, it's this alien over here. I'm not visual, I am slow, I have too many ideas, I write outsider characters, I'm not good at marketing. I recently got published, and it goes on and on and on, and I have depression and anxiety diagnosed by a psychologist. So guys, yeah, I listen, I feel like an imposter. So if you actually like what I'm doing here on my YouTube channel, and if you have happened to stumble upon one of my excerpts that I share on social media, or if you like just my ideas and you have supported me along the way, thank you. Thank you very much, because it really makes me feel that I can fight this syndrome, that it's not as bad as you think. You are not an imposter, you are different. And yes, I am different. I am an own voices writer. And when I hear about own voices and the movement of own voices, mostly I hear about LGBTQ characters or multiracial characters or all this stuff, but I never, ever hear about blind writers writing about blind characters in fiction. I know there are many, or a handful of, I don't know, because nonfiction is not my material of choice when it comes to reading. But I know there are blind writers out there who write about overcoming their disability and, you know, the usual, the how I overcame my blindness kind of thing. And yeah, books about it exist, I guess, but I don't know of a blind writer who's writing blind characters in fictional situations. So if you happen to know about a blind writer like me, please let me know in the comments. Please enlighten me, because I don't know, I might be missing something. Or you might tell me, Dal, you're a pioneer. And you might think that's a big thing to tell me, and it's a compliment, and thank you for the compliment, but it actually increases my imposter syndrome, because being a pioneer is really hard, and I think it's too big of a title for me. I am maybe not a pioneer, maybe there are others out there, I just haven't seen them yet. Number 5, sleep pattern problems, or a better title would be a lack of a sleeping pattern. Listen, I was born with nightmares. I don't remember a single time in my life where I had happy dreams on a regular basis. I might have a good night's sleep every now and then. I have had happy dreams a few times in my life, but it's always tainted by a nightmare next day. And so I was even learning to speak, you know, in my native language. I was learning to speak, and I still couldn't talk the things I wanted to say properly, and I was trying to say the word nightmare as a baby, trying to say nightmare, and I couldn't say the word because it's longish for a baby. So what I was trying to say was monster, 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 because I was having nightmares as a kid. That's pretty messed up, and I still remember some of them. I should write horror. I just don't know how. but like, yeah, I want to write horror. I'm gonna talk about that a little bit later in the video. But yeah, I don't have a pattern. Not only the nightmares, but like, I'm a night owl, and the world doesn't want us to be night owls, I guess, because, you know, things happen in the morning. And you might say, so you sleep in the morning? Yes, sometimes I do. Sometimes I sleep in the afternoon, sometimes I sleep in the early evening. Very rarely, almost never, I sleep at night. So for example, yesterday I went to sleep at 10 p.m. 9:30-ish, 10 p.m, I don't remember, you know, you never really remember the exact time when you fell asleep. And I was up by midnight, and I was up. I was planning to sleep at night. Well, my body said, no, you are going to stay awake. And then I fell asleep around 10 a.m. in the morning, and I recently woke up at like around 5. Yeah, I don't know why my body does this to me. I don't know what's my condition. If there's any doctors, any writer doctors here, please tell me what could this be. It's not just insomnia. It's just like a rotating sleeping pattern. It rotates. I could be the perfect flight attendant if only I knew how to be a flight attendant. That would be fun. So yeah, that also hinders my writing because I want to make time for writing, but then I also have to run and do other things outside. So I don't really have time for writing because I was sleeping, and now I have other things to attend and chores to do, and wow, oh my god. And yeah, time management plus sleeping pattern issues is a huge problem. And I don't know how to fix it anymore. I have tried everything. Medication, no, because it made me sleep for more than 12 hours. It was awful. So I have tried medications, I have tried tea, I have tried remedies. I fall asleep to true horror stories or something like that, or like very long format videos or relaxing music. I have tried the relaxing music, the horror stories. Shout out to the horror community on YouTube. They are amazing, and their voices are very relaxing and soothing actually. So I have tried everything, and I still don't have a regular sleep. I don't know what to do anymore. I guess being from another planet that rotates a lot slower than Earth is like, these days are too short. How do you do about this, humans? Yeah, it's difficult. Number 6, I am overwhelmed by ideas. As I said, I am a blind own voices writer, and I want to write characters in fictional situations. So I have so many ideas, so many things I want to work on. And people say, well, just go with the one that you want to work with the most. I want to work with all of them. Well, go with the one that you know best. Well, some of them I know and some of them I don't know, and I research the crap out of a topic before I can start writing in my attempts of time management, which are a total fail. But okay, I can try other things, but I just like many of my ideas. I want to try to write in different genres. It's overwhelming. It is overwhelming. If you want to hear about all my projects and project ideas for the upcoming future, I also made a video about it. You can check it in my channel. Number 7, emotional draining. I am a writer that suffers with their characters. If my character is being tortured, I feel the pain. I feel it. I know in my head that this is fiction. I am the one putting the words on screen, and I am the one making it happen. But it doesn't take away the feeling of the pain across my skin with the torture that I'm imposing on this character, even if it's fiction, because I try to put myself in the shoes of the character to make the scene more authentic. Whatever it is, it doesn't have to be just torture. It could be many things. For example, a huge fight with a friend or some drama with the family. And I go with it. I suffer with the characters. So I am this kind of person. I am this kind of writer who's something like this. No, I don't want to do it. No, delete. Why am I doing this to my characters? No. Okay. You might think it's fun. And yeah, it's fun to look at it when you are not the person doing it. But it can also hinder me, because then I get distracted with something else to cope with the heavy scene that I'm writing. And then I get distracted and drained and more distracted and so on. It's a cycle, and it could be detrimental. Even though I said, and I still say it, writing is my coping mechanism for experiences from my past. So yeah, I want to write authentic scenes, but at the same time, sometimes I don't have the emotional strength to go along with it. Sometimes I do, sometimes it's okay. But there are times when I struggle and it's difficult. So yeah, emotional draining. Number 8, I am not very good at group writing and sprints, and that hurts me. I love groups, I love writing sprints, I love the sense of community, and as I said with the emotional draining, I feel less lonely. I feel like I'm not alone and it's okay, and we are all crazy writers over here, so it's totally fine to do whatever I'm doing. And go on, we are here. But at the same time, the sprints are short. I write so slowly and my thoughts take over myself and I get distracted with my own thoughts. And the sprints are too short. And if I caught myself in the middle of a scene just because my time went off, if my timer went off and I'm in the middle of the scene, then I have to get out of the scene, take a break, we talk for a while, and I love it. But then again, when I try to go back to a short sprint, it's too short and I have to again go back into that flow state and go back to that emotional state. It's so hard. It's really hard for me, and I still haven't got the rhythm for that, and I edit as I go. You see, it's a problem. You've heard all the other struggles that I had in this video, and it can be really difficult, and it hurts me because I need to find this kind of middle point between my writing process, which is completely different from everybody else, and I'm okay with my process. I don't want to change it, but I have to find like a middle line between the community and writing on a vacuum, because I don't want to write in a vacuum. I love this community, but you guys go too fast for me, and then I'm not competing and I'm not comparing, but believe me, it affects me a little bit because I know that I can write so much more. I can, but it's too short of a time span for me to get into the flow, and then I have to cut it off again. So I'm not very good at that. Number 9 is I am not good at marketing. Yes, I am learning. Yes, I am trying to improve myself with marketing because I have to if I want to be a successful writer. I know that. And if you want to be a successful writer, you better start improving your marketing skills right now. But then again, I have a very strange relationship with marketing. I feel like it's a human thing that's very cold and business, and everything is a product and you have to market it in a certain package so it's appealing to people, and I don't know if your authenticity will remain intact and authentic if you market the crap out of your product, because then is it authentic anymore? I don't know anymore. And so I have this very strange relationship with marketing. And because I'm not here to teach anybody, I'm not going to start making tutorials about how to market yourself. The only thing I can say is I'm going to learn. I promise I'm going to try my best and learn to be better at marketing myself. The visual aspect of marketing, well, forgive me, I try my best, but I know it's not going to be on par with visual writers who know how to market. I mean, it's not going to happen, but I'm going to try to do my best, and I'm going to share as I learn, and I'm going to share with you as I grow in my writing journey. But if you can learn something from that, then great. But I cannot teach you like, okay, today I'm going to teach you how to. No, because I am no one to teach you nothing. And I know that marketing and strategy has a lot of how-to and teaching, and yeah, I struggle with this. I struggle because how to write this and that, how to go about blah blah blah. I am awful at how-tos. Awful. And I'm not gonna try. So I have to find other ways to market myself. I mean, I'm a talking shadow, and that's a brand concept in itself. And I'm an alien from another planet. You know, I am this blind shadow alien from a distant galaxy that you still haven't discovered. Yeah, that's part of my brand, I guess. I'm a sci-fi writer, so I just try to make it sound fun. But I still struggle with this. It's not because I'm not being myself. I'm actually being myself, but I don't know how to make it appealing while still being authentic and not falling into this cold-hearted business machine thing that you humans invented for mass production of things. I really don't know how do you do that. So that's a big struggle. And number 10, fear and anxiety. I fear everything. I fear that I'm an imposter in the community. I feel that I am too different, that I am not relatable. I fear that I'm going to be rejected by every single sci-fi literary agent that there is out there. I fear bad reviews because I recently made an attempt of a romance short story, and I fell in love with my short story, and I'm so happy that it got featured in a romance anthology. And then I am not very romantic, so I fear that people are going to sense that, or like it wasn't enough, or it wasn't what they were expecting, because blind people have over heightened senses, you know, the myth that we are super hearing kind of creatures and we have such a big sense of smell. Not all blind people are like this, and I don't write blind characters like that because it's not true. So I fear for the misconceptions that the reader might already have about blind characters and what they want to see versus what I am doing. And it's just a cycle of fear and anxiety. And I fear rejection even though I still try. I fear queering. I am already queering book 1 of my sci-fi trilogy with a few literary agents, and I am terrified of rejection. I don't know what's going to happen. And well, if it gets rejected, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to another round of reading and we will see what happens. But I'm afraid of everything. Imposter syndrome, time management, deadlines, all that stuff. I am afraid. And I still push myself to do it. But yeah, fear and anxiety, big struggle. And as a bonus, number 11, because I am in a good mood today and I'm filming, so why not? Number 11, I have a poor diet and I don't drink enough water. I'm going to drive myself to dehydration someday. And I know this is not good and I have to work on this. I never considered it a thing that you would struggle with as a writer until I am deep in a scene and my stomach is creating the new death metal single that's coming out today or whatever, because I have not fed it yet. Or I suddenly touch my face and I am as dry as the Sahara. And I'm like, whoa, I need to drink water. I just forgot about it. And I don't like the taste of water because it's just bleh. I don't like water. Give me tea. But then, you see, it hinders me, and I never thought of it as a problem, as a struggle for writers. But yeah, I get so deep into my writing that I forget to feed myself. So yeah, I struggle with everything basically. Share with me your struggles if you feel like sharing. So drop a comment down below, like the video, subscribe and all that jazz. You see, I'm trying to market myself. Trying. So, I hope you've liked this and I hope it has helped you in some way or another. And once again, thank you. Thanks for watching, thanks for your time, and see you next time. Bye.